What's up guys, Mike B aka Phony here, and this is Trials Evolution Tuesdays aka Tits, and this week we're going to focus primarily on extreme tracks. What I'm showing you right now is obviously not an extreme track, and the reason why I'm showing you some of these hand-picked, some are more recent, some I've been holding on to for a very long time, extreme tracks, is because these are the types of things that you're gonna see, and you need to understand when Trials Evolution Gold comes out. So consider this a primer to show you the differences between a beginner track and an extreme track, and all of the differences between the varying different types of extreme tracks, because you're gonna see some wild fucking shit when some of these seasoned track creators make the switch from console to PC, and I already know there's a whole bunch of them. One confirmed is this guy right here. This is Murdoc Loch. Now, I'm not saying that he specifically will be switching 100% over from the console. I think he's probably gonna do a little bit of both, but there are gonna be some people who are gonna be like, well, it's a lot easier to do this stuff on with the mouse and keyboard than it is anything else, so maybe we'll go ahead and, you know, make the switch. And I mean, the editor, obviously, playing the game is gonna be easier and better on a controller, period. There's no argument there, so stop. Anyways, Murdoc Loch, easily one of the top players in the game, also happens to make really fucking dickhead tracks. And Red Leaks even did an interview with him talking about, you know, his track creation style and all that stuff after, of course, you know, they awarded him during this video the wrench, which is kind of like the true fan tag that I have next to my name. He now has a wrench next to his name anytime he goes, he creates a track or puts a high score, like a #1 fucking score up somewhere. So you're gonna see some of these wrenches appear here and there on the leaderboards and here in this video. So kudos to him for that. But some of the questions they asked him was like, how did he come up with some of these individual tracks? And he was basically saying, just to get to the meat of it, he said that he fully expects there to be a very, very small percentage of the people that are going to see the entire track. And the reason why is because his tracks can be so fucking hard. This one, I'm showing you this footage here. This is actually Shifty Samurai on Twitter, but I'm showing you his stuff, his replay, because my actual run through this track took so fucking long that the replay system just like, it just rejected it. Like, it just assumed that it was garbage, and it was right. It was a garbage ass run. Am I gonna go back and redo it? Probably not, because it was hard as fuck. But you could see here visually that this is nuts. This is what you'd call ninja level, right? So there's extreme, like regular extreme, which we have a couple of regular extremes I think today, maybe one regular extreme, and then there's like ninja levels above it. I mentioned this in a previous episode of Tets, and I was like, yes, this is a thing. I wasn't kidding. It actually is a thing. Like ninja level 4, ninja level whatever. It's a kind of unwritten thing to kind of show people or tell people, explain to them that how difficult the track's gonna be. And whenever you get to ninja level stuff, that's where you're gonna be doing crazy wheel hooks and just bounces that just don't even make sense, but that's what you do to get across some of these things. And it's just, you start to get into the point where you're flipping your bike in ways that you never really expected to have to in order to complete a track. And that is what a ninja quality track will give you. This track by Maniac, with a whole bunch of capital I's before every character. I think it's supposed to make it look 3D. Whoa, look at that, it's coming right out my face. It's crazy. Anyways, this track was what I would consider to be a regular extreme track. And the reason why is because this is actually more in line with the stuff they actually do in real life, okay? IRL. Like there are trials competitions out there where people are doing the most nuts things you've ever seen on bikes. And this is a great example of something that could very easily be translated into a real course. It'd be incredibly difficult to pull off, and a lot of the obstacles would kill you if you were to fuck them up, but there's virtually no point in this entire race where you're actually upside down. And that's, I mean, I don't think, someone could probably prove me wrong, but I'm fairly certain in real trials comps, they don't actually do any kind of upside down crazy wheel hook. I just don't see that as being realistic. I'm sure there's some guy out there who's pulled it off, but I just don't think that's a thing. Anyways, without any of the upside down crazy wheel hook stuff, this would not qualify for most people as a ninja track. I think even the creator would agree this is not necessarily a ninja track, but it's still an excellent extreme track, and it's important that everybody realizes and understands the difference between, you know, an extreme track and a ninja track. And these are all in the tags, by the way, guys. If you look at the tags when you go to select a track, you'll usually see ninja. The problem is, okay, and this is what happens with the user-generated content, is that the tags are picked by the person who's creating the track. So if the person that creates the track thinks that the track's really difficult, they'll put extreme, ninja, boss battle, fucking YOLO swag. No, I'm just kidding, that's not an actual tag, but they should totally put that in for the PC version. Kalinius, this guy, he has a couple good tracks. I've actually covered, I think, 1 or 2 other tracks on previous episodes of Tets, but good example, good mix. And I'm telling you, first off, I'm not trying to be like a motivational speaker or anything, but if you can't figure out how to do something, watch a replay. Just watch a replay and you'll figure it out. I didn't need one for that because the arrow was fucking pointing at the ground and it obviously didn't mean go through the ice. But sometimes you need to watch the replay to figure out what the fuck's going on. Now, if you have the patience of a saint or a masochist, you don't need to watch a replay. You could just sit here until you figure this shit out yourself. But just know and always remember that no matter how fucking wild and just stupid a track might seem to you in terms of like difficulty, the only way it gets to Track Central is if it has been completed by the creator. So there is a way to complete every single track that's released. It's doable. You just have to figure out how. And that's obviously the hardest part about doing some of these tracks. I'm like, this shit right here. Like, who the fuck does that? You know? Like, you're not gonna learn that from watching Supercross on fucking Saturday mornings. You're not gonna learn that shit. Most of you guys who watch this show learn that shit from here. I'm probably gonna make some kind of video, hopefully soon, show you guys how to do that shit. Some of it involves fapping, some of it involves just regular hooking. Fapping and hooking. Wow. Scumbag. Another guy's been making tracks since Trials HD. Now, I'm starting us off here at the end because I want you to see how fucking happy I am to finally make it. 367 faults. It looks so much more ridiculous when you're not doing it. So anyways, I'm starting off at the end because the idea was I'm gonna finish it. It's obviously gonna tell me that I can't play back the replay because it's too long. So I'm gonna pick Murdoc. Oh, look at, oh, shocker, Murdoc locks number 1. Let's check this out. Here's his run. It took me 27 minutes on my first run. It takes him like 45. You see how smoothly he goes over some of these things. Obviously, he spent all night working on just this one track. Reality, it probably took him like one fucking go at this because it's fucking stupid. I'd imagine that once you get to a certain point, you just become so accustomed to these crazy obstacles that you could just pass them without even breaking a sweat. Oh, but look at this. Oh, Murdoc Luck is for some reason, he's swimming for his life. Oh, the replay's fucked up. Son of a bitch. What's that mean? I have to go back and replay the goddamn track to show you this shit. Cause it's a good track and it deserves to be seen. All right, here I go, smooth as butter, my second attempt here because I thought I could get away with the replay. Obviously, that's not gonna happen. Look, just gonna make these jumps. I'm feeling like a badass already. Oh, ninja save! It's so unimpressive after watching somebody like ace the first handful of obstacles. Of course, you know, you gotta take a swim, but you know. I'm doing my best here to represent and I'm gonna fuck up like this. Look at that, genius. Now, here's the thing that you guys have to look forward to, okay? Now, I know that there's a big difference between like me and someone like Murdoc Loch or Scumbag or Retribution or any of those guys. But, and I'm not trying to sound cocky here, you can interpret this however you want, the gap in skill between me and those guys is equivalent to me and you guys. And by you guys, I mean the ones who are fresh to Trials. There is a huge skill window. The ceiling is so fucking high in Trials because there's so much that you could do with these bikes. It's like limitless. And you guys have seen that over the course of what, like 30-something Tets episodes and countless Will of Donkeys. You've seen it. There's some insane shit out there that like 4 people. What was that fucking track with the French guys? They all came in and they like 4 of them like finished the entire track, 0 faulting it, and the rest of the world for some reason couldn't do it? Fucking French guys is owning it up on that one track. That almost sounded racist as shit. No, I'm serious, like that was just that one track. I'm not saying that French guys can't go and be awesome in other tracks. It just so happened that that one, nobody else completed except the French. Don't get me wrong again, you know, I love French people, I do. I think French people are pretty awesome. I dated a French girl one time. I have some friends that are French. I know like some French words. I love crepes, okay? Who doesn't love crepes? I feel like you guys are trying too hard to pin this on me, okay? So how about, let's get back to the track, all right? Look at this track, it's by Scumbag. It's pretty fucking ninja.